2 billion Muslims exist today, and this is the fastest-growing religion in the world. In recent times, some claim that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, never existed, suggesting he was a later invention by the Arab Empire. This challenges the core of Muslim identity, but our faith is rooted in evidence, not blind belief. Dr. J. Smith and others argue there's a lack of early external evidence and dismiss Islamic sources as unreliable. But extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and such evidence is missing from their arguments. We'll calmly examine the historical record, both Islamic and non-Muslim, and the physical evidence left behind. Our tradition preserves a chain of transmission and eyewitness accounts unparalleled in history. This video will walk through the evidence from Islamic sources to archaeology to show that the Prophet's existence is a verifiable historical fact. Let's begin our journey for truth. The Quran, Islam's central text, mentions Muhammad, peace be upon him, by name, and was memorized and compiled by his companions within a generation. The Hadith and Sirah, like those of Ibn Ishaq and Imam Bukhari, document his life and teachings with rigorous chains of narration. These sources detail his family, companions, struggles, and even daily habits, far beyond what legends provide. The oral tradition was a sacred trust, with companions dedicating their lives to preserving his words and actions. The idea that an entire generation fabricated such a detailed figure is implausible. We know the names of his wives, children, friends, and even enemies. The sheer volume and specificity of information about the Prophet, peace be upon him, is unmatched in ancient history. This is not myth-making, it's meticulous preservation. The Islamic record stands as a mountain of interconnected internal evidence. To deny it is to ignore one of history's greatest feats of documentation. The foundation of Islam is built on real people and real events. If the Prophet, peace be upon him, truly existed, his contemporaries would have noticed, and they did. Early Christian texts like the Doctrina Jacobi mention a prophet among the Arabs, and Armenian chronicler Cebeos describes Muhammad, peace be upon him, as a merchant and leader. Syriac sources such as Thomas the Presbyter explicitly reference the followers of Muhammad in historical battles. These independent external accounts confirm the presence and impact of the Prophet, peace be upon him, within years of his death. Other Coptic and Greek sources also acknowledge the Arab conquests and the new faith. These writers had no reason to invent a prophet for their rivals. Their testimony corroborates the Islamic narrative from outside the Muslim community. The evidence is cumulative and undeniable. The world took notice of Muhammad, peace be upon him, as history unfolded. Physical evidence further confirms the Prophet's existence. Early Islamic coins, especially under Caliph Abd al-Malik, bear the Shahada and the Prophet's name, showing his centrality to the state. The Dome of the Rock, built in 691 CE, features inscriptions naming Muhammad, peace be upon him, as God's messenger. These monuments were created within decades of his death, when eyewitnesses were still alive. Claims that Mecca was unimportant or misplaced have been debunked. Early mosques do point to Mecca, and minor errors are due to primitive navigation. Non-Muslim sources from the 8th century mention Mecca as the Arabs' spiritual center. Inscriptions from the first Islamic century invoke blessings on the Prophet, peace be upon him, showing widespread belief. These are not elite fabrications but popular expressions of faith. Archaeology, coins, and inscriptions all point to the Prophet's real historical presence. The evidence is clear and tangible. Our faith stands on overwhelming evidence, not myth. The Quran, Hadith, Sirah, non-Muslim accounts, and archaeology all confirm the Prophet's existence. Denying him ignores a mountain of independent proof. The science of Hadith criticism is among the most rigorous historical methods ever developed. Early scholars protected the Prophet's legacy with unmatched care. These efforts ensured that what we know is as close to the truth as possible. When fringe theories arise, see them as opportunities to deepen your knowledge. The Prophet's impact on history and civilization is undeniable. Be confident in your faith. Truth stands clear from falsehood. The evidence for Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is vast, compelling, and enduring.